Hi guys, welcome to the first lesson in Unit 2, and we are going to really talk about special triangles that you've talked about in geometry, and then we're going to transition over to how that looks like in trigonometry. So the first thing that we're going to talk about is a 360 degree triangle. So the first thing you would do with this triangle is you would start off with a triangle, an equilateral triangle, with side length of 2 on each side. And then what we're going to do is flip that in half. So now we have this new triangle that becomes a right angle. So I'm going to take the 60 degrees that goes there. This as a triangle 2, but this side length is going to be cut in half to 1. And I don't know this side length right here. So in this angle for the 60, that's 30 degrees. So that's where that 90 degree triangle comes from. Okay, so I'm going to use the Pythagorean theorem to figure that out. So let's see, I have x plus x squared equals 2 squared, or I guess technically that's why. And so let's see, 4 minus 1 is 3. So this length is the square root of 3. So we have our side lengths, we have our angles, and now we're going to switch over to the unit circle. Now, here's the thing. I don't want the radius of my unit circle. So I'm going to draw this here. So this is going to represent my 30 degree angle. The problem is I want this length in my unit circle at hypotenuse to equal 1. So I'm going to take all of these values, angles are going to stay the same, but all of these items, I'm going to divide it by 2. So this becomes 1, that's what this is. I have opposite the 30 degree angle, that's going to become 1/2. And then your x value is going to be square root of 3 over 2. So that if I were to take this point here, my x value would be square root of 3 over 2. And my y value would be 1/2. So this point is square root of 3 over 2 and 1/2. Okay, in a unit circle, we've kind of touched on this in Unit 1, but your x value is going to represent cosine, and my y value is going to represent sine. And this is in the special unit circle, where you have your hypotenuse as 1 unit. Okay, so let's apply it to this. We'll do the 30 degree angle. So the cosine of 30 degrees is going to be my x value, and the sine of 30 degrees is going to be my y value. So I have the square root of 3 over 2 and 1/2. This is the cosine of 30 degrees. This is the sine of 30 degrees. We're going to go on and do the same thing to the 60 degree angle. So this is going to go really fast because we're going to use this messiness over here. So instead of 30 degrees, I'm going to have 60 degrees here. So let's see, opposite the 60 degree angle, that's the square root of 3 over 2. Adjacent to the 60 degree angle, that's 1/2. And then we still have that 1. So the cosine of 60 degrees is going to represent my x value, and the sine of 60 degrees is going to represent my y value. So my x value is 1/2. My y value is square root of 3 over 2. So 1/2 is the cosine of 60. Square root of 3 over 2 is the sine of 60. Okay, our next triangle is going to be 45, 45, 90 degree triangle. And so the way we set this up is we have a triangle by the length of 1 on each side. Because the sides opposite the angles are equal to each other as well. So then we have to add in there, find this thing. So we have a square that equals 2, and so this is great. So we have our side length. So I'm going to make a 45-degree angle. So this is 1 square root of 2, but remember, we want this to be 1. So I'm going to divide everything through the square root of 2 to make this so it's 1. So this is equal to 1. So I'm going to go ahead and rationalize this. This is going to be square root of 2 over 2, and this is going to be square root of 2. We have square root of 2 over 2 and square root of 2 over 2. And that is also going to be our point. And this is going to represent our cosine of 45 degrees. And this is going to represent our sine of 45 degrees. So this is really the foundation of everything that we're going to do in every quadrant. So I'm going to throw out a special angle, 120. And so think about what would that look like on our unit circle? Well, this is 180 here, if I went all the way around here. But 120 is going to be maybe right there. So think about this. This is going to represent a 60-degree angle. So then I'm going to go up and I'm going to grab those side lengths for the 60-degree angle. So, oops, this is 60 degrees. So I have 1/2 for my x value, and I have square root of 3 over 2 for my y value. So 1/2 square root of 3 over 2. But you have to kind of common sense your way through this on a coordinate plane. So we're in the second quadrant. We have this point out here. So my x value would be negative, and my y value would be positive. So I'm going to make this a negative 1/2 and a positive square root of 3 over 2. So just be careful on your signs. But other than that, notice it's looking the exact same. 1/2 square root of 3 over 2. This is negative 1/2 positive square root of 3 over 2. So that is the same thing. So then I automatically know that my cosine of 120 is going to be negative 1/2, and my sine of 120 is going to be square root of 3 over 2. Okay, so next we're going to try 135 degrees, and that's going to be a 45, 45, 90-degree angle. And remember, we had square root of 2 over 2, square root of 2 over 2, and 1 for my side lengths. So this point, we are going to have this be negative and this be positive. And so I have cosine 135. That is going to be negative square root of 2 over 2, because my x value. And the sine of 105 is going to be positive square root of 2 over 2. And the last one we're going to do is 150. And that is going to represent that 30-degree angle. So let's go all the way back up here to 30 degrees. And so I'm going to use this as my x and y value. So square root of 3 over 2 and 1/2. So I'm going to kind of go a bit here. So square root of 3 over 2 and 1/2. So it's again still in that second quadrant. So that square root of 3 over 2, that's going to be negative, and that 1/2 is going to be positive. So we're going to apply this, and we're going to fill out the whole unit circle. And using these, everything comes down to either a 30, a 60, or a 45-degree special angle. So I'm going to do that in another video, and we are done with part 1 of lesson 2.1.